Antarctica. An isolated world covered in a vast ice sheet up to 2 kilometers thick. Very different in contrast to its Jurassic counterpart. Our planet has seen many small worlds come and go until we get to where we are today. And as the face of the planet changes, it kicks off evolution. The climate of the early Jurassic is a very wet one. With much more moisture in the air, monsoons are common. It's only 5 million years after the breakup of Pangaea, and the world is still warm, making Antarctica subtropical. There will not be a hint of ice on this continent until the late Cretaceous. The sound puts everyone on edge. This male Kralophosaurus is hunting, but the oncoming storm has dulled his senses. He doesn't know it yet, but he's very close to some potential prey. They too have been disturbed by the oncoming storm. But as the Jurassic period forges on, this lush, humid environment will not stay the same. In the northern hemisphere, the land is drying out. In North America, the landscape has been besieged by drought for more than 6 months. After half a year, there are finally signs of rain. Brought by the promise of water, migrating animals are returning from the south. But there are others who have had the strength to tough it out. Even so, the drought has taken its toll. Medium theropods, like this Marshsaurus, have had to survive on small animals and carrion for the entire dry season. In times like these, their relationship with Allosaurus is somewhat hectic. This mother Stegosaurus has managed to bring most of her brood through the tough times. But absent-mindedness could be her downfall. It's an understandable reaction to having 2 tons land on your tail. This could potentially end very badly. But it's not worth making a scene. Both species live under the same lord, and the lion of the Jurassic is ever vigilant. The parched land is once again baptized. As the Jurassic period draws to a close, this constant fluctuation of the seasons will remain consistent. But it will only stay this way for the next 30 million years, before ecosystems and their climates become more stable. As the world changes, drastic alterations to the landscape can be catastrophic for local wildlife. For the last 3 million years, global sea levels have been rising at an astonishing rate. A quarter of North Africa is now covered by sea, and it is the specialists who are affected the most. For Spinosaurus, her world is going to pieces. Her chance for descendants is gone. When the river delta started shrinking, Spinosaurus's food supply began to disappear. Her sources depleted, this giant is running low on energy. The local scavengers have also disappeared, as there is now less for them to thrive on. Having given up on trying to find a meal in the water, she is forced to hunt on land. But that has its drawbacks. Spinosaurus is now forced into direct competition with other giant carnivores, and they don't like to share. It's not just Spinosaurus that has been suffering. Carcharodontosaurus also has been running out of food. This is one of the last Paralititan. The ecosystem as a whole is on the verge of collapse. Desperation and lack of resources forces animals together. For species on the verge of extinction, there is no greater trial. They both represent the end of a dying lineage. But unfortunately, in the game of life, the generalists will always come out on top. The largest theropod to ever live has lost for the final time. She is the end of a long line of strange and bizarre theropods. But now her world is dying, and Spinosaurus along with it. This majestic ecosystem is now being swallowed up by the inevitability of change. But a warm, wet world does have its benefits. The Nemegd Basin sits in the southwest corner of the Gobi Desert, and yet it is full of lakes and rivers. A variety of bizarre creatures live here, all sustained by plentiful water. Gallimimus will eat just about anything it can find. But dinosaurs, like this young Barsboldia, aren't the only animals out here. A baby Azhdarchid. Right now, it's only about the size of a cat. But if it grows up, it'll almost be as big as a small plane. This is an area dominated by some truly bizarre creatures. And Gallimimus isn't even the strangest of its kind around here. To the east, the desert stretches on for hundreds of kilometers. This place is much more arid and tougher to survive. But as with all deserts, there are some that manage to hang on by the skin of their teeth. These velociraptors have recently brought down a young Protoceratops. For the parent, it's no use hanging around. It's always good to take care of each other when every day is a throw of the dice. In 40-degree heat, it's a good idea to keep on the move. Even for desert specialists, this can be a deadly place to live. The remains of a city pati are of particular interest to the juvenile. But there's something here more interesting than an oviraptorid corpse. Dinosaurs aren't the only ones who have mastered these conditions. This is the burrow of a nocturnal mammal. Digging it out will certainly give it one heck of a surprise. Delta Theridium, a marsupial the size of a shrew. It's too fast for the young velociraptor. There are always easier things to catch out here. To live year-round in a place like this, you have to fill a certain niche. Velociraptor is a generalist, hunting just about anything it can get its claws on. But in a few million years, it will be the plucky opportunists who inherit the Earth. By the 21st century, the Gobi Desert will have stood here for over 80 million years. Elsewhere, the planet has seen many changes to the environment and the climate, but life has continued onwards. Life is tough. Life is resilient. And as many times as the Earth has tried to eradicate it, life has always endured, because life always finds a way.